5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beep. There you go. We're here. All right. I'm just going to play things loud today. So if you just can't take the loud noise, then you shouldn't be watching a tutorial about industrial metal. Another glorious and groovy day. Yes, that's right. Logic Pro hacks. Welcome. My name is Brian. You haven't not known yet. And I'm in a weird mood because I'm doing industrial metal. That's right. I'm not sure what comes first. You have to become weird to listen to industrial, or industrial makes you weird. Either or. It's a catch-22. Being said, we're going to do another walkthrough. Yes, that's right. First step, work on some of these drums here and show you what I did. I have 2 sets of drums. I have the Ultrabeat. I'm just using the kick. As you know, a lot of Logic kits from Ultrabeat, they suck. But there's a couple kits in there. This one in particular is actually pretty good. Oh, this is a custom kit. That's why. This is not Logic. But then again, it's a good kick, so I used it. I threw it in Ultrabeat. Next one is Addictive Drums, or... Yep, whoa. I didn't like that. So I'm using just basically a metal kit in here. Deadly Dawn metal kit. And what I did is down here, you can see where it clicks on these little arrows down here. You can do a separate out. Let's go ahead and move this off the side and I'll show you. You go in your mixer window and you just create a normal channel, but instead of just creating a stereo, you just go in here and you just create multi-output, 4 stereo, 10 mono. And then you just click this, like 20 times until you fill it all the way out. And the first one, this one is just going to be like your stereo channel, but all these are going to be your different channels. And as you click all those out, and then you just do this for each one, even on your buses, you got your overheads, your room, and your bus for your sound effects. And that way, you can send everything out. I just put limiter on it and amped it up a little bit. I want to put on the limiter. Just 1 dB of gain. That's all. And eventually I might do some effects on it. But the cool thing, here's the really cool thing, is look at this bad boy right here. My kick is going to bus 15. You notice I'm also having a send that goes to 14. So we'll go over here to 14 and 15. There's 14, which is going into 15. So that send that I sent out is going to the compressor. The compressor is coming out 15. So I'm doing a little bit of a parallel compression. Got my compressor. It's a Type U type kit. It's a good one. It's not an opto, but I chose to use this one, and it's a studio FET, so it was a little different. I thought it was a little bit better for the type of sound I was trying to get. Here's my pair group, and there's 15. So it goes into 15, and so these two right here, kick goes into 15, and compressor goes up to 14. And check this out. Same thing for this kit as well. So I get 2 kicks going into 1 parallel compression. So you would call it a double pump. Double pump. There you go. If we listen to it, Now I'll play the kicks just by themselves. Be careful, because it's going to be loud. I'm just going to play things loud today, so if you just can't take the loud noise, then you shouldn't be watching a tutorial about industrial metal. Here we go. That's double pump parallel compression. 2 kicks at the same time. And then the rest of the stuff is just, you got your standard snare that you find in any metal kit. I like the Addictive Drums because it just sounds really nice. We'll go ahead and just play something good here to play. I'll take out the Ultra Beat kit so you can just hear the Addictive Drums. Here we go. Loud. Yes. And then we add in Ultra Beat custom kick layered, and you got this. Yes. You got your war machine going on right there. That's right. And then the next thing, we add in sub, because you always got to have some sub on your industrial metal parts, especially when it gets real heavy. I'm just using an ES2, your typical oscillator waves, your basic, your saw waves. When you just play it by itself, go ahead and just play it. You can hear very low in the mix, not really that much, but just enough to give a little oomph. And that's all we're doing. We're just kind of getting that low mid-range. I have a compressor on it, and it's being sidechained. So to let the kick come through so it doesn't get all muddy. And then the next one, we'll talk about monster guitars that I found here. First one is this one. I call it the KM7 pounder. They're all coming from Kontakt. And there's a free sample or library out there called KMG7. You just Google it. I'll put the link in the description. And it's made by a guy from Japan. His site is like half Japanese and half English. It gives you enough information that you can decipher and find the download link. And it's about 2.5 gigabytes is the library. However, the library is probably one of the most amazing sounding metal guitar sampled libraries I've ever heard. Now, granted, I'm not the one that goes out and buys these sampled ones. I know there's some really good ones out there. I think of them right now, but I'm not a metal guitar player. I'm a keyboard player, but this is good enough for what I'm trying to do, especially industrial metal. You don't need the best here. You just need something good. And that's what I'm using right here. And this is free. I mean, you can't ask anything better than this. So let me explain something about KMG7. You'll notice that I have a little note down here, what is called a trigger note in Kontakt. And right here, these little red things are different triggers. Now, did you know, check this out, like if you take the drive off and you just play it by itself, just a regular electric guitar, like a Telecaster. Huh, you put it back on, and we got that. Usually what I do is I just tweak the low and the mid and up the gain. And now another thing that I noticed with the KMG7, cabinet size. I found that to me, in my ears, there's a sweet spot. And if I hit it about 64%, it just sounds really good. Now, this is personal preference, it depends on your studio and what you're hearing, but I don't know. I was just able, when I dialed it in around 65%, I just thought that I got a really good sound out of it. So that was just the main thing. I took off all the noise and all the effects and had stereo on this one. I sweetened the sound. All right, so we're just going to play this one for a little bit. All right, so for the progression I'm using is, I think it's related to like a G minor or something like that. I can't remember. It's kind of late at night. So basically what I did is I just Googled, said, all right, what's the best chord progression you can use for a, in metal? Found some interesting article, and the guy listed like the top 10 chord progressions on various songs. He talked about this one having the E flat note where it goes right into the F. And he was saying that it just kind of gives it a real cool vibe to it when he did that. So I thought it was kind of cool. And as I was playing the different progressions, I thought this one sounded pretty good. And he said that this one is in a lot of metal chords, this progression right here. So you might actually recognize it in a lot of things. But all it is, D major, E flat, F minor, G minor, D, E flat, F minor. So it just kind of goes over and over again. The next one, what I call the Pulverize, that was the pounder. Let's just go over here to Pulverize. Play this one first. Same thing, cabinet size, just a little bit different. Tweak the EQ just a little bit differently. And I'm using a different MIDI trigger, a D sharp MIDI trigger. There's different sounds for different ones. Also, I put a compressor on it. I'm using this setting I found. It's called Electric Fast Guitar. I think I may have tweaked it. It's like that. A little bit EQ, a little bit of panning. Top one here. Same thing again. Got a trigger. And this is what's called Macerate. Macerate. Sounds like something else. You say it so fast. Same thing again. Maybe a little less gain. Cabinet size. I got this one. Just a little different cabinet size. Changes the sound some. But I took off the stereo. Yes, I did take off the drive on this one. Now check this out. I'm using Logic's amplifier, high octane. Really cool amplifier. It's pretty good. This is a really nice one, and I took off the amplifier off that. A little compressor on it, same thing. And this is what this one sounds like. And you can see that I max out the gain. I'm just going for, total annihilation of my enemy here. And I'm using this humongous high octane 4x4 12 stack, give a lot of distortion. Reverb. This next one made out of an EFM1. Now let's go ahead and tell you about this one. Turn everything off for a second. I'll let you listen to it by itself. And the sound is kind of, it's a little boring. It's an FM synth. But what's cool, tweaked the attack and just kind of played with it until I got something that sounded kind of interesting. Layered on an amp. And the amp I'm using is this one called Headroom Distort. Played with it until I got it to sound good. I always jack up the gain like really high. So this is with the amp on it. But yeah, I changed the legato and put unison on it and up the amplifier. And then on the EFM1, you can actually take this fine, off-center it, and it gives it a wider sound. So that's what I did on the fine over there, and a little bit of LFO rate too. And then we put the compressor and the EQ back on, and it sounds like this. And then we put reverb. And then this one is just a pitch shifter for the right channel, because what I'm doing is I have a pitch shifter for the left channel on the other one. The thing about when you have two guitars and they're playing the same notes and maybe they're a little bit different sound, you don't really want to layer them. You want it to be different enough, maybe have some slight edge to them. And what's cool when you use the pitch shifter, it has a delay setting in it, just a very minute delay setting. Let's go ahead and just open it up, show you. If you just tweak this down here, there's a 14.0 millisecond delay, but it's just enough where it just delays this channel from the other channel, so that way you can get a really good wide sound, almost like a chorus effect, but it sounds really cool. Matter of fact, I'll just go ahead and just open up this one and talk about this one next. I want to play the sound for you. You can see this one, it's got it for the left, and it's a 9.7 millisecond delay. Put both pitch shifters, one on the right and one on the left, like so. It sounds really cool. Now let's check this out. That's industrial for you. My way of doing it. I'm sure there's 1,000 ways out there, but hey, it's all good. So that's the high bass 2 EF1. Next one is made out of retro synth, and I'm using an art bass I made a while back. Again, these FM synths are really great for guitar sounds because when you put them just by itself, let's go ahead and just take off all effects. I just want to let you listen to it by itself without anything. Check this out. Just has that short attack, but it's kind of plucky, but in the same sense, sort of in some way resembles a guitar sound in some aspect. The FM synths are just great for that. Up the chorus and, whatever. Tweaked it until I liked it. Add the amp. I'm using same thing, just a different setting called Dangerous Distort, and this is what it sounds like. It's lots of distortion. And then if that isn't enough distortion, added another distortion, biting heavy distortion. Before we put that on, put the limiter on. It's going to crank. Here we go. It's going to be loud. Put on effects. Sounds like this. Put this one on. Good. So that is all the synths, and then when we add them all together, like so, sounds like this. Yeah, put the sub and the kick in. Sounds like this. Very good. Yeah. Get you pumped. Get that double pump going on with parallel compression, man. Cuts right through. Really good for this stuff. 2 kicks and 2 parallel compression methods. So the next one is my leads. What it is I'm sort of doing the same thing that I did with the other high bass and high bass 1. And I got the same MIDI line, but I'm using the sculpture synth. This one is called the Santour setting. And if we take it all off, it sounds really cool. I left the EQ on. I took off the delay. Santour. There we go. It's a really interesting exotic sound. I thought it was kind of cool, especially when you could layer it with some more distortion. I really like this high octane distort. It sounds really good, especially for this type of sound. Put that on there and make sure my limiter's on. And here is this. Put the compressor on and then EQ and put our effects on. It sounds like this. This one is made from a sculpture again, but a little bit different. I'm using the Telecaster, and if you take all the effects off, it sounds like this. Leaving the delay on, just didn't really care. But it's a good sound, especially when you mix it with an amp. And the amp, I'm using this one called Little Big Distort. This was like a nice, clean distortion sounding one. I liked it. It sounded pretty good. So added this, compressor, my effects. And it sounds like this. And when we put them both together, it sounds like this. Very good. Next to the pads. So we can go with the first one. This is what I've done a tutorial before about this, but I did a different version of this pad. Basically, it's a sample that I sampled into the custom wavetable here from an Alchemy. That's why it's called Alchemy Pad. And by itself, it sounds like this. Let's go ahead and... Okay. And when we put all the effects on, this pitching and reverb, sounds like this. Very good. And then we go to this other pad, is Smooth Morph. This one is a really good sound. I like it. Sounds like this. And then we add the sub. Love it. Sounds great. It's huge, it's wide, it's epic sound. We are done with all the sounds. Talked about just some different synths and just how I did some of the routing. If you have any questions, hit me up. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna play this video through and let me know what you think. I'm gonna do something a little different. Every video I'm gonna have an Easter egg hidden in the video. If you find it, you come to me and I'll give you a free template. Put a number in there and find the number. If you're the first one to find the number, you get the template. Any template on my site at logicprohacks.com. But it's going to be hidden really good. Do a playthrough. All right. Let's have some fun. Yeah. And remember, my friends, stay groovy. Hey guys, thanks for watching my video. If you enjoyed it, please give me a thumbs up and share it on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram. If you'd like to see more videos like this, just click on the big red subscribe button below. And when I upload a video, you'll be the first one to see it. Also, if you did like this video, maybe you will like some more of my other videos. You can watch those right now just by clicking on any of these links right here, which will open up a link in a new tab. Again, thanks for watching my video and supporting this channel. And remember, my friends, stay groovy. uneventful one for industrial metal, I think. But, you know, it's 12 o'clock at night and I gotta figure something out. Would make things better. Anyhow, oh, you're still here. You want to see something new? You liked it. Okay. All right. I'll play something different for you. Hold on. Here we go.
Confused with technology. Fade the shadows, music confused with technology.
Yo. Yeah. Yeah. Record your name. Uh-oh. Let's try this again.